Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So here today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a how-to on eyeshadow. Now you're probably like, you do 1,000 tutorials, but sometimes when I'm doing a tutorial, I don't really go in depth too much on certain things because, you know, I get the look done, I explain to you the essentials, but sometimes I really don't explain too many things for beginners at least. I know I follow a Jeffree Star Cosmetics page here on Facebook, and this one girl was like, yeah, I don't really know how to do eyeshadow. It's just really kind of confusing for me, and I thought, you know what? Let's take a step back and let's really in-depth explain eyeshadow and how to do basic stuff. Now today I'm going to be doing a more simple look. I always say that, but I don't end up simple. But just because I really want to show you guys, you know, how to really do it, how to really, you know, explain the techniques of how to apply eyeshadow. But today I'm actually going to do a purple eye today, just because I feel like doing something different. So yes, before we get into this, please go like and subscribe. I'd love to have you here on my channel, and I think we're gonna have a name for us all. I thought since it's Courtney Sparkle here on YouTube, we can be the Sparklers. Tell me how you like that. So please like and subscribe. I would love to have you here on my channel. Comment, share, do what you do. And if anyone's giving you any negativity out there, don't let them get you down. You're fabulous. So this is going to be a really long video probably, so get yourself a snack. I'm not really going to heavily edit this, just so you guys can really get details on how to do things. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do for your eyes is prime them. I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but you can do things like a MAC Paint Pot, the Maybelline Cream Shadows. Basically what a primer is it's going to help prep the eye, and it's going to provide a base so that your eyeshadow is more vibrant, and it's going to stop creasing, and it can be a lot more long lasting. And someone is texting me. But I hate creasing. I hate it so much. I hate when my eyeshadow just wears and isn't cute anymore, so that's gonna help. I really prefer the Urban Decay Primer Potion because it's one of the primers. It's my holy grail primer because it's the only primer I've seen to really make my shadows last. I mean, I've been through a 16-hour day. This has like kept my eyeshadow perfect and all of that. So you want to do that. Now a lot of makeup tutorials you'll see will go straight into the eyeshadow. I don't like to do that because if you go straight into eyeshadow while this base stays tacky, it's going to just make the eyeshadow cling onto one place. So let's say you're putting a crease color in there. What's going to happen is right where you put your brush and try to blend, it's going to be really dark right here and really light and really dark and really light, and it's going to be patchy. So one, the powder will have will help with that even blend of eyeshadow. It'll help the color glide on more, all of that. So just use a skin tone powder. Just lightly brush it on the eyes. And then at this point you are ready to go. Plus, with priming and powdering on the eye, it actually helps the vein not come peeking through your eyeshadow. I've done that. It looks really weird. So, yeah. I'm going to try using the Morphe 35P. I'm not going to do anything too complex, I think, so you guys can get an idea of how to do it, take it back to basics. All right, so you want a good bit of eyeshadow. Okay, so you want a good bit of brushes. Don't use those sponge tip applicators. Brushes are your best friend. If you invest in some great eyeshadow brushes and take care of them and have kind of crappy eyeshadow, you can make that work versus better than having a really great eyeshadow and a really crappy brush, if not any brushes. So just keep that in mind. All right, and the first thing you want to do is you want to go in with the transition color. Now, what a transition color is, it's a shade that's going to go from your crease almost up to the brow bone, but not completely. And what this is actually going to end up doing is it's going to end up helping that eyeshadow to blend. It's like kind of that safety net for the other eyeshadows to blend into. It's gonna be your best friend. I cannot do an eyeshadow look without a transition shade. It will make your life so much easier. Now you can do any transition shade, but I recommend something that's about 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin, if not 3 to 4 if you're going for a darker look. But I choose the 1 to 2 because that's really going to help the fade. So I'm gonna go into this color right here, and you want to pick a brush that's fluffy. When you pick a brush that's fluffy, it's going to help fluff it where you need it to. And the thing about applying eyeshadow and blending and all that stuff is you want to hold your brush further away. When you apply it like this, it's going to apply more pressure, so you're going to add more product, versus if you have your fingers further away from the brush, it's going to help you have a lighter pressure and less control, which sounds bad, but that's what's going to help your shadows blend, apply easier, so just remember that. So I'm going into my crease. And you know what your crease is because when you put it, your brush, it'll start to go in. Or you can look up or have your head up and look down to your mirror. And where you see a little bit of shadow, that's your crease. So you want to start in there and just lightly fluff it up to the brow bone. And I'm going in a mixture of windshield wiper motions and kind of circular motions. So, like that. Now, as you can see, this is kind of messy. That's okay because it's just kind of our safety net for our eyeshadow. So, now, if it does kind of get too much out like it did with mine, take a flat brush like this or a Q-tip with any powder on it and just butt it up against where you want that edge. Also, what you could do for beginners is take a piece of Scotch tape and put it like in a diagonal line from starting like to the corner of your bottom lash line up. I don't prefer that anymore just because it's going to leave a really harsh edge, but it really did help me when I was beginning with eyeshadow. So a little tip there. And then you're going to do that on the other eye as well. If your eyeshadow is really messy, don't worry about it too much right now. We're starting out. A lot of eyeshadow looks will actually start out really messy, and the further you go, the better it gets. With eyeshadow, it starts off looking like a complete hot mess and then gets better as you get there. Alright, so now that you got that transition, what I normally like to do, and you don't have to do this right now, I can do this when the top lid is done, but this is a tutorial for beginners, is you're going to take that transition shade, tap off any of the excess, and you're gonna go on that bottom lash line and connect it up to that transition shade. What this is going to do is it's going to help you connect your eyeshadow in the future, and it's going to help you blend that lower lash line color. Now, you don't have to connect the eyeshadow if you don't want, but why I like doing that is because I have really hooded small eyes. So by doing that, it actually helps angle my eyes out, and it's going to help open my eyes up and make them look bigger. So if you guys have kind of small eyes, that's a tip. If you do like kind of a sharper line, it's going to help open the eye. Another thing you can do to help open the eye is go lower on this very outer portion. What this is going to end up doing, but don't go too low. If you end up going too low, just take that brush again and blend it up. If you go a tad bit lower, it's actually going to help circularify and angle the eyes so your eyes look big and doe-eyed. So that's what you want to do. So now it's time to get into your darker colors. Now, something I want to mention too is I recommend, if you want a seamless eyeshadow blend, that you slowly go darker and darker and darker. If you go straight dark and not light to dark, it's going to make it really hard to blend the eyeshadow and make it look dimensional, have that really nice fade. The more shades that you have, especially right in the crease, it's going to help that kind of fade that you see on kind of Instagram models. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker shade right here, and I'm going to go a little bit lower than the crease. So how I ended it here, we're going to end it here. So, and after each time you apply a color, take that previous shade or that first transition shade that we use to blend it. So what you do, take that really light shade, like I said, hold it back further so you have less pressure, and just go along those edges super lightly to the point I'm not even touching my eyelid. Like, I'm barely touching it. And see the fade that you get? That's what you want. So we're going to do that to the other eye. And what'll help actually make the eyelid look bigger is do exactly on the bottom as you did the top. So since I applied a darker shade, transition shade, we're going to go the same exact way on the bottom. When you apply that shade, like I said, you want to apply a previous shade so it blends a lot smoother. Now I think I want to start going into the plum colors a little more, so I'm going to take this kind of plum purple right there. I'm going to place this in my crease exactly. So literally just doing windshield wipers into that crease. The thing is, you want to use matte shades for your crease more so than shimmers. Matte meaning there's absolutely no shimmer, because when you have so much shimmer on the eye, it doesn't build that dimension. Like, this is my crease, this is my eyelid. It's going to make your eyelids like look flatter. So by mixing the matte crease, I'm also blending it now with kind of that shimmer lid or shimmer anything, I guess. Your eye is going to look bigger. It's going to look like it has more dimension, and it's going to look like, you know, like that Instagram worthy eye trend. So now I'm taking a mixture of those two transition shades and I'm going just over the edge of that. And then I'm taking that first transition shade and going to the very edge of that. Like I said, we are barely touching our eyelid. Taking that plum and going straight, smudging that into the lash line. Okay. And now it's time to put on our darker shades. Now for the darker, I'm doing a darker outer corner. I'm not going to tell you every technique because there's too many to talk about for a video, but I'm probably going to talk about techniques that are going to make your eyes bigger. Now for the outer corner, because to prevent it from being chalky and not faded, you want to have two colors. A reason being, you have that base to help that really dark color blend. So, ooh, this is where it starts getting hard. Okay, I think I'm going to take this shade right here, this purple shade. We're going to fluff that on the very outer corner. Now, if you can't get any dimension or you can't get precision out of this because you're using a big brush, I can because I've had practice. Just use a smaller brush, but just take that purple shade and you want to, because we're using a darker shade on that very outer corner, you want to take it and kind of bring it into halfway through the crease. It's gonna do, like I said, is help it blend, so it doesn't get super choppy. Each shade before the previous or the next shade, you want to bring up a little bit higher just so the blend stays there and the shape stays there. So just like that. Okay. Then we're going to take that purple again, and I'm only going to put this on the outer half because when you put a dark shade on the outer corner and a lighter shade in the middle or the beginning of the lid and the beginning of the bottom lid, it's going to help it make your eyes look really big. So the darker that outer corner is and the brighter that inner corner is, your eyes are gonna look huge. Obviously, there is a line that you do not want. I personally like not seeing the lines in my eyeshadow. So what I do is you now want to blend that in very circular motions. Like I said, just clean up the edge of all of that. I'm going to take a deeper purple. I'm going to mix these two shades. I'm going with a flatter brush here. And I'm going to just put that on the outer corner. So now I'm not taking it into the crease, and I'm going to stamp it on the very outer edge. So we're going super low with this, so one, it doesn't get extremely high, and two, by staying really low in that very outer corner, it's going to help achieve that fade that we all want, and our eyes look bigger and our makeup looks stunning. So going to blend that again. Now another reason why I connect the eyeshadow is, number one, I notice when a lot of people don't connect it, their eyeliner tends to go out and it has this weird gap, like it's not connected. When you have a connected line, the shadows look seamless, they look blended, they look beautiful. Okay, and then we're going to just and then of course take that first shade, every single time blend those edges. Right, now the next thing you want to do before you add that shimmer is we're going to add a highlight. Now the highlight, what I'm going to help you do here is, let's say your eyeshadow went a little too high and you're having trouble and it's just become a mess. Take a matte shade. So I'm taking that matte white and I'm going to bring it like I would, but start going downward. And that's going to help bring down that highlight so the edge can be more blended, number one. And two, it's not too high. So once I brought that down, take no product and blend it. You're even going to take that first shade and just go along that edge. And boom! You now have a blended eyeshadow. Now, if it's still a little too patchy on that outer corner, no problem. Just replace it. Then for the final shade, you're going to take a shimmery highlight shade. Just stamp that right underneath the brow arch. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to help raise the brow so that the eyeshadow looks even more pretty. Now, another thing that's also a question is if you should do your brows first before your eyes. You should, because one, it frames the face, you can have a better judgment of how you should blend your eyeshadow for your face shape, and two, it's going to actually help you not put on too much shadow. So now it's time to put on the inner shadow. And I'm going to go in with this light purple. I'm doing it like a cut crease deal. And how we're doing that is I'm making it a little simpler for you and not using the concealer. You know, just giving you an idea of how it works. But how you would normally do it is you take concealer and you take it on your brush and you start to follow the shape of your eye. And then if you want to do a half cut crease, stop here. Full cut crease, stop here. But I'm taking it one step easier for you, and I'm not using concealer. I'm just using eyeshadow. Your eyes are small, and you want to take it a little bit above that crease, so your eyes actually look way bigger than they are. So like that, but if you were to put concealer underneath, it's going to help that line look super sharp. Okay, now you may notice, oh my god, that's a harsh edge. What do? Take your brush and just blend oh so lightly. Even take those dark shades and touch up that outer corner. Like that. Alright guys, so I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. I'm actually going to take that purple on that inner portion, just blend it to that outer, touch up the outer shadow like I'm doing, and then do a winged liner. Now I'm not going to tell you how to do winged eyeliner on here because I already made a tutorial, but I will link that down below. And I'm also going to apply some false lashes. I'll also do a false lash tutorial here soon. And yeah, I'll be right back. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you liked it. I know videos like this helped me when I was just starting out with makeup. Yeah guys, I hope you have an amazing day, and of course, stay beautiful and stay you. Bye guys.